Hey Scorpio, welcome to your general reading for the November 15th full supermoon that is occurring in the sign of Taurus. Now this month's full moon is a supermoon because it is happening closer to the earth than the typical full moon. So its gravitational pull on the earth will be stronger than usual, as will its pull on the tides and of course our psyches and emotions. Now this is a general reading, it is not a one-to-one private reading. If that is something you're interested in, you can go down to the description box below and find the link to my website where you can book a private virtual reading with me. However, because this is a general reading, it might not resonate for everybody, and that's perfectly normal. If you don't feel like you are relating to the things that are being said, that's perfectly okay. Just leave this reading behind and perhaps consider checking out the readings for your moon and rising signs. If this reading does resonate for you, please consider liking it, subscribing to my channel, or just sharing with your friends, family, network. Any support at all, any comments at all are very, very much appreciated. Now, before we get into the reading, I will first see how you're showing up, what your general energy is around this time. I'll see where the full moon is impacting you in your life and how it is impacting you, as well as the lessons here for you that the full moon might be trying to push you in the direction of. I'll see how you can tap into your comfort and joy at this time because I feel like tensions are high in the world. Things feel kind of crazy, especially here in the United States. So I want to make sure that I can guide you and others to tap back into your softness and joy at this time. Then we'll get your next best actions to take. We'll see anything that's coming in that will be a surprise, so anything that you don't see coming. And then we'll pull a few more oracle cards at the end to see what the purpose of the situation is and what it's guiding you toward. I'm going to try to go ahead and get all of your cards as quickly at once as I can. So do please bear with me. You can always skip over this part if that's something you would like to do. Coming out the Ten of Pentacles for your general energy. Really nice so far, though. All right, I'm going to get your cards, and then we'll dive into the reading. Thank you. All right, so I will clarify as I feel the need throughout the reading with a different deck. But so far, things are looking pretty good for you, Scorpio, around this full moon. You are showing up Ten of Pentacles. You're very family-minded at this time, very family structure-minded. So you could be thinking about your family. You might be seeing family more often than usual. Or, of course, this also corresponds to chosen family, not particularly blood family members. So you could be around your chosen family a lot at this time. There is comfort here, there's abundance here, there's celebration here, there's good times. You might have reached a goal recently that's financial. You might have secured a new job recently. Maybe you came into a new home that you really love. Maybe you finally got to the bottom of a health crisis and now you're feeling much better and there's people rallying around you. It's this lovely communal feeling, and it's giving a very warm and fuzzy feeling to me. It's like you're finding warmth and comfort around the people that you're with. I am going to clarify this just to get a better context. Six of Wands, yeah. There's just this feeling of confidence in being seen by people in a very favorable way. So the people you're around, they like you, they celebrate you. These are people who see all of your strengths, see your triumphs, and you are feeling confident in the public eye as well. So you might be like around people more often than usual around the full moon, rallying together with people in some kind of way that feels good and finding comfort in each other. Now, the area of your life that's being impacted by the full moon is the King of Cups. It is your emotional world. So many signs are getting this card for this placement. Like, so many signs around this full moon are being affected emotionally by it. The King of Cups resembles somebody who has so many emotions, a very rich emotional world, is incredibly caring, and of course, Scorpio, you are a water sign, and this is a water sign card. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and it's the most mature version of the suit of cups. This means that your emotions are there, you have lovely nurturing tendencies, you have a very rich emotional world. However, you might not be very good at communicating your emotions. If you feel hurt, they're giving me an example. If you feel hurt by people, you don't tell them that you feel hurt. Instead, you let it fester. Okay, so that's an emotion that they're giving me an example as. This full moon is going to have you, I'm going to foreshadow the lesson here because you've got the Ace of Swords for your lesson. There's something here about being honest with people and communicating your emotions better. And they're giving me also communicating your needs better. Maybe your emotional needs, I'm not quite sure. But making your needs and emotions heard, that's what's going to be impacted by this full moon. And the way it's being impacted by the full moon is the Hierophant. That means it's being impacted quite strongly because this is a major arcana card. And major arcana cards do indicate a very grand energy and is a strong, strong undercurrent. And if it's not a strong undercurrent, it is bam, wham, like right in your face. The Hierophant is somebody who has very traditional morals and belief systems. So typically when I get this card and I see like couples around it, like a couple reading, and I get this card, it signifies marriage, it signifies signing the deed for a home, something along those lines. Now, there might be some rigidity in your emotional realm. Maybe you categorize your emotions very rigidly. It's something about structure here. They're actually showing me pill boxes for vitamins. Like when you buy those plastic little boxes that like assort your vitamins for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're showing me that. And they're giving me that example as a visual for your emotional world. It's like you put your emotions in little boxes and that's where they stay. And they never come out, and that's where you keep them, but then they go like kind of rotten and they fester in there, you know? Now they're also giving me another example. They're giving me two extremes. So there's people here, there's Scorpios here that I'm talking to that have two extremes. So it's either everything's in a tiny little box and that's perfectly where it stays, or everything is just bursting out. There is absolutely no structure. And especially when it comes to emotions that keep themselves inside that you don't communicate. So, for example, if somebody says something to you, like a friend says something to you, and it like hurts your feelings, but you don't say it hurts your feelings, well, then that thing starts to fester inside of you. And so whenever you see them, you get kind of bitter and the resentment kind of increases. And then maybe they say something that is totally normal to say, but you take it a different way because you've already been hurt and because in your emotional world, you are building walls up against this person. Sorry for the car horn. And because of that, then you explode. It's like the emotions fly out, and it's because they were pent up the whole time, when really if they had been communicated at the very jump, maybe this whole situation could have been ameliorated. So that's the examples they're giving me, and that's how this full moon is going to impact your emotional world. So there's going to be some experiences and situations that are going to be ushered in by this full moon that force you to look at your emotional world in that way. You might be having revelations because the lesson here is the Ace of Swords. This is the card revelation of major realization of being like, oh shit, I did not even realize that that is how I'm showing up to people. And the Ace of Swords also indicates a lesson in honesty, being honest with your own self and your own emotions. But I think here, and it feels really strongly here, that there is a lesson for you in communicating your emotions, in trusting that the people around you, because the people around you really like you, I feel like. The people you're around here, they see you very favorably. And they won't hate you if you say your emotions and if you share your emotions, of course in a healthy way. But it's also about being honest with yourself about how you feel. I am going to clarify this card just to get a little bit more of an explanation. Okay, so the Five of Cups was the only card that flew out face up, and that's how I take my cards. So yeah, Five of Cups, that is some intense feelings of sadness. So you might have some feelings of intense sadness that follow you around. They're telling me that they follow you around. I'm laughing, not at the fact that you are sad and you have sadness following you around. Absolutely not. I'm laughing because they're giving me a very weird example of a mother duck and the ducklings following after the mother duck. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Like I'm seeing, like it's a little white duck walking along, and then the fuzzy baby ducklings are walking after the mother. And it's like you are the white duck, and these heavy feelings are like the little baby ducklings. Like they just follow you around. I feel like it's because they're not out of you. They're not expressed. They're not communicated. There are some maybe regrets that you feel like you have not communicated to a person. There are feelings of perhaps betrayal that you have not communicated to a person, or in general, like just feelings of frustration, feelings of even around this current, world affairs that we're having. Like there is sadness that can happen with these major political and cultural shocks that we all experience as humans, and it needs to come out of your brain. I'm not getting that it needs to come out of your body, because sometimes that comes up as well. Sometimes we like physically hold on to things. I'm actually not getting that. I'm getting that it's very, very intellectual. It needs to come out of your mouth. The ways that you can tap into comfort and joy at this moment, you've got the Ace of Cups and the World. Now, the first thing coming up with this Ace of Cups is taking alone time, actually, which I would not typically associate with the Ace of Cups, but that's what they're giving me, and so I gotta say it. Actually, alone time, but not in the sense where you isolate. They don't want you to self-isolate. They're letting me know that that is actually something that is really bad for you, to self-isolate. But this is about actually doing things on your own that you really like to do on your own. So for example, if you're somebody who doesn't really like to go to concerts with a big group of people because you're just like, oh, it's a whole production, whatever, maybe go to a concert or plan to go to a concert around this time by yourself, or maybe with like one other friend who you can trust will kind of like let you go do your own thing. They're also letting me know that you like to travel by yourself, because you got the World card here. If you're somebody who likes to travel by yourself, it might be nice to just go on a little like adventure by yourself around this time. If you live in a city, maybe you can go explore a different neighborhood. Or if you kind of have been wanting to go for like a little weekend trip, a little weekend getaway somewhere, of course somewhere that's like safe for you to go by yourself. But that is like something that will bring you a lot of joy around this time, that will help you feel free, it'll help you feel confident, and it'll help you kind of fill your cup, because your cup here does want to be filled with the Ace of Cups. Your cup of self-love, your cup of self-confidence, of self-respect. And I feel like you get that a lot from exploring and doing things on your own that put you out of your comfort zone. What you don't see coming is the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Now, at the beginning of November, you might have been feeling like really combative, or not even just at the beginning of November, maybe just throughout November. You're feeling a bit combative, a bit conflicted, kind of like ready to go whenever somebody triggers you or presses a certain button. You're just kind of like, all right, fuck it, let's throw hands. And by the end of November, I feel like this feeling is going to run its course because the Ten of Wands is here. And this could signal overwhelm. So again, tapping into your comfort and joy, doing things that fill back up your cup are really important, because it feels like there might be some drama that's coming up. There might be some fighting in a friend group, or just inner conflict that's coming towards you. Maybe somebody is coming towards you in the latter end of the month, and they're just going to be somebody who you kind of randomly meet, and they just put you in a bad mood or something like that. Or they just kind of want to fight with you or debate with you. And you're just like, I don't want to debate right now. I don't want to fight right now. But like, you're really getting on my fucking nerves. So let's go. It's kind of that energy. It's like a button, you know, just like a dynamite button. Like, all right, explosion. So beware of that. And beware of just feeling overwhelmed with the weight of the world. They're letting me know. Just conflict around you, and conflict on the news, conflict in social media. Beware of the emotional and energetic overwhelm and draining that can happen from that. So again, filling your cup, you know, that'll be really important around the full moon. Now your next best steps are the Knight of Wands, the Justice card, and the Emperor. I'm going to clarify some of these cards because I want to make sure I am getting the right, leading into the right direction. Nice. Nine of Pentacles. All right. I am being led in the right direction. I just wanted to, as always, make sure. If you are in a romantic relationship, a situationship, whatever it may be, there is somebody here tied up to you, and you've got the Knight of Wands. So this thing is very spicy. It could be very uncommitted at this time, kind of just fun. You enjoy each other. You enjoy each other's company. If that is not somebody who is currently in your life, there's somebody coming into your life who is like that. And you've got the Lovers card clarifying. So they could be a fun little fling, you know, and the Lovers card does indicate somebody who is actually here for the long run, but it might begin as something a little bit less committed, kind of more just fun. And also, there is maybe because when I pulled these cards, I got this overwhelming sense that there was a right that needed to be wronged, or there was something that needed to be evened out in a relationship, because you've got the Justice card here. Again, this is telling the truth. This is telling the truth about how you feel in a situation, but it's also about balancing something out. And I feel like it's about balancing something out with another person. If there's somebody who you've fallen out with, maybe there was some anger there, maybe there was some frustration, they're encouraging you to speak your truth about it. If your truth has not been heard by anybody and you've just kept it inside, it really wants to come out, because letting it come out, it feels like it'll help balance, help you find your balance. If you have not been being truthful about something, it's time to out how you feel, or just be honest about how you feel. The Emperor wants you to step into your adult shoes. There's a situation that requires logic. It requires just straight up logic. If you feel like your emotions are clouding you on a situation with this Knight of Wands, or with somebody in your life who is a romantic partner, maybe a good friend, maybe an ex-friend, whoever it may be, it's like you're being guided to think about it in a very logical manner. Say how you feel, tell the truth, share your emotions, but also, and also, come from a place of logic and rationality when you're dealing with this Knight of Wands. Now I'll pull a Wisdom of Oracle card to see where this whole situation is taking you. Okay, I'm going to go grab that card. You've got Yang, number 1. It's guiding you towards action. Wow, you actually have 3 aces coming up for you. So I feel like there's a lot of revelation coming in for this full moon, and I feel like it'll be very active for you. Overall, the situation is guiding you to act on what you want. Go towards what you want, go towards who you want. It's actually, they're letting me know it's freeing you. Okay, that's the whole point of it. It's freeing you. It's taking a burden off of your shoulders. It's taking the old emotions off. So it's letting you move forward and letting you move on. Lastly, I'll get a Tree Keeper's Oracle card to see any additional messages coming in for you, Scorpio. Okay, let me go get that card too. You've got Keeper of Self-Love, number 1. And that's really funny because this is number 1 too. So you might be seeing iterations of the number 1. So like 111, 1111. And if you are, that is definitely confirmation that this message is for you. The message is, many of us forget to include ourselves in acts of loving kindness. Human beings are hardwired for both love and struggle. One of the best ways to practice resilience between the two is through self-compassion. Definitely. This moment asks you to focus all the patience, support, and love you keep giving everyone else onto yourself. Put your arms around your inner self with all the gentleness you can muster. Consider this. You are the only you in the entire universe. You deserve to experience love from the inside out, independent of what the world offers or takes away. Nothing can change your inherent value. It's golden. Treasure it with kind thoughts. All right, Scorpio, that is all I have for you. I hope you have a lovely and restful full moon. I feel like this full moon is bringing a lot of really great revelations into your life, and I'm excited to see where it takes you into December. I'll see you next time for the December general reading. Take care.